Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to show you a little something. These are two water pumps here. One is a CSR and one is the old company, a CSI. These are both for small block Ford. They'll fit 289, 302, and 351. Now I'm going to show you the difference in the two and a little bit of differences. You're going to need a backing plate to run one of these, unless you run a motor plate, which I'm going to run a motor plate too, but I don't know if this goes behind the motor plate and the motor plate goes in between. We'll have to figure that out. Or if this just goes attached to the motor plate and then the motor plate runs to the block. Well, that's one thing. And another thing difference here is you can see of these two. Let me try to flip this. I got a phone in one hand. You can see the difference. One's a longer snout, one's a shorter. You have to buy these additionally to the pump. Now this pump I got off of a race motor from a guy. He was in Jacksonville, Florida, and he just listed it. And I ended up stealing the pump with the backing plate with this and all the hardware for $100. It was a deal. Now this one I got some time back. This is a CSI. Now I'm going to tell you about this one. The guy, when I bought it, this thing was in pieces. I have an instructional video of how to put this back together if you ever run into this type of problem. But these are screws here, these 4 screws. And when these screws come out and you pull this magnetic coil out, there's springs and shit in there. And it is a nightmare to get it back in. If you don't know what you're doing and you have no idea, you'll say it's impossible to do. But there is a trick to that. And it's like paper clips with a thing, and you hold it in, the magnet and the spring, and then you drop it down and pull the clips out. So I serviced this unit. I think I got it for 50 or 75 bucks. I'm going to try to bring it here closer to the light so you can see the inside of it here. Let's see. But I mean, it's real clean on the inside. And this is the CSI, simply the best. This is the SN4/04, and that's a CSR 05. Now, what happened to these companies is, I believe this CSI sold it to CSR, and they changed names, or I don't know if it's the same company. It's the same pump. So I'm going to show you the difference in one. This one, the inside's real clean in the pieces, and the difference between one that's not used and one that's used. Now, if you get one of these used, I suggest you change these bushings. There's bushings in these end pieces that in the recess piece where you put it together. I'm sure you could get away with silicone and not using those pieces, but to each his own. Now this one's a little bit more used. You can see the knock pieces where it's been beat. You can see definitely the difference in that and that, you know. I haven't really looked in it or checked, but the guy said it worked on his race car. So I grabbed that for $100. So I figured I'd show you these two and the workings and the difference between the CSR and the CSI. There's no difference. It's just a company changed names. I have these for small block Chevy, for my small block Chevy 400, brand new CSR and polished aluminum. These are really top of the line, nice pieces, and I suggest if you get a water pump, they're a little pricey, but you know, it just makes everything look good when you got a nice piece there instead of a cheap like Pro Comp or something like that. You know what I mean? Although these are old, once I clean this one, I mean, it's going to look good on the car. You're not going to tell any difference between an old one and a new one. You know, these aren't clean. These been in boxes. So I figured I'd show you. Like, subscribe, and share, and keep on dreaming.